Hey, have you ever just stopped responding, stopped texting back, stopped explaining yourself, stopped begging for their attention, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, that person who ignored you for weeks starts blowing up your phone? Yeah, that's not a coincidence. That's a narcissist in panic mode. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why they do it and what it means for you. Stay with me, because this one's going to change how you see everything. You think you're alone in this, right? You think you're the problem. You've been sitting there thinking, maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I asked for too much. Maybe I pushed them away. Nah, stop right there. Most people think going silent is just being petty or playing games. But the truth is, silence is one of the most powerful psychological moves you can make around a narcissist, and they know it. That's why it scares them to death. Here's the thing. You've probably been in this cycle without even knowing it. They ignore you, you chase. They pull away, you beg. They go cold, you try harder. Sound familiar? And just when you finally get tired, just when you decide to stop chasing, everything flips upside down. Suddenly they're the one texting. Suddenly they miss you. Suddenly you matter again. But why? Why does your silence do that to them? Let's get into it. Psychologists call this narcissistic supply. It happens because narcissists don't actually connect with people the way you and I do. They don't love, they feed. They feed off your attention, your reactions, your emotions, your energy. Whether you're happy, sad, angry, or crying, as long as you're responding to them, they're getting fed. But the moment you go quiet, their food source disappears. And just like anyone starving, they panic. Here's what the science actually shows. Narcissists have what researchers call a fragile ego structure. Underneath all that confidence and control, there's a deep, hollow fear of being irrelevant, of being forgotten, of being nothing. And your silence, it hits that fear like a freight train. So they don't come back because they love you. They come back because they need you to keep them feeling real, keep them feeling powerful, keep them feeling like they matter. Wild, right? But wait, it gets deeper. Let me tell you about someone. Let's call her Maya. Maya had been in a relationship for 2 years with a guy who was charming, funny, and exciting at first. But slowly, things changed. He'd go days without texting, then act like nothing happened. He'd criticize her in front of friends and call it just jokes. He'd make her feel crazy for having feelings. So one day, Maya just stopped. She stopped texting first, stopped apologizing, stopped explaining herself. She went silent. And you want to know what happened within 48 hours? He texted her 6 times, called twice, even showed up at her job with coffee, something he had never done in 2 years. Maya didn't know it then, but what she accidentally did was remove his narcissistic supply. She pulled the plug, and his whole system short-circuited. I didn't know it then either, but that moment when you stop reacting, stop chasing, stop performing for them, that is when you take your power back. Now, here's a fun little fact that'll kind of blow your mind. Did you know that a narcissist hoovering you back in? Yes, that's the actual psychological term, hoovering. Did you know it has nothing to do with how much they value you and everything to do with how much they value themselves? You're not being won back, you're being re-vacuumed. Okay, but real talk. Let's talk about the specific things they actually do when you go silent, because this is where it gets really interesting. When you go silent, narcissists typically follow a very predictable script, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. First, they love bomb you again. Suddenly, all the sweetness and charm that made you fall for them in the first place comes rushing back. Texts, compliments, memories. I miss you so much. It feels real. It feels like change, but it's a strategy, not a transformation. Second, they play the victim. All of a sudden, they're hurt. They're being ignored. They can't believe you're doing this to them. They flip the narrative so fast your head spins. This is called DARVO: deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Psychologists see this pattern constantly in narcissistic behavior. Third, they use your people. They'll reach out to your friends, your family, your coworkers. Have you heard from her? I'm so worried. She just disappeared on me. They're planting seeds, collecting information, and making themselves look like the concerned one. And fourth, if none of that works, they go cold, ice cold. They act like you never existed. This is called the discard phase, and it's designed to make you break your silence just to prove you still care. Everything changed when I realized all these moves, every single one of them, is just noise. It's a scared person throwing everything at the wall, hoping something makes you react. Music softens. Because the moment you react, they win again. So here's the truth. Your silence isn't cruelty. It's not pettiness. It's not a game. Your silence is your self-respect speaking louder than your words ever could. Once you understand that a narcissist comes back not because they love you, but because they need you, like a phone needs a charger, everything shifts. You stop feeling flattered by the grand gestures. You stop falling for the fake tears. You start seeing the pattern instead of the performance. And that is freedom. You are not a power source for someone else's ego. You are not responsible for keeping them emotionally alive. You are allowed to be silent. You are allowed to walk away. And you are more than allowed to choose peace over chaos. The silence isn't the end of something. It's the beginning of you. Now, if this video hits you somewhere deep, if you found yourself nodding along thinking, oh wow, that's been me, then I got something really important for you next. Because here's the thing. A lot of people who attract narcissists, they share one quiet hidden struggle underneath it all. And it's this. They don't feel good enough. Not really, not deep down. And I made an entire video on exactly that, why you don't feel good enough. And trust me, it might be the most important thing you watch today. Hit that end screen right now and go watch it. I'll be right there waiting for you. Take care of yourself. You deserve that. Always. Music fades in.